Over here in the south, we have our only Protoss player in the group, formerly known as TricKsteR in Starcraft.
TricKsteR.
Don't interrupt me like that, TricKsteR.
That's so rude.
He is just out of line. And now, in the opposite starting location in the north, we have
GSL.
There he is.
He's not quite as good as Liang, that intro one.
Yeah.
He knew exactly where his hand was going to go.
That's impressive.
It
to
is.
actually be that tough, that confident to just say, you know what? It's her duty to hit my hand.
Ooh.
That's the way Artosis rolls.
That's
he
how
just
you do
puts
it.
that hand out there, man, and then he dodges if he feels you coming close.
I've heard stories.
Yeah. Well,
So
this
he
nice quick scout is quite useful.
Did you notice that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But did you notice he actually sent the probe to the opposite starting location instead of the one close to him first?
I did.
That's
And
interesting.
The only thing I can think is that might be to scout possible proxies, or perhaps he has a build he wants to tailor to the further away spot.
Yeah.
Or rather, a build that he wants to tailor to the closer spot, and if he scouts this anything other than right away, he's not going to be able to get into it. So,
Yeah, he might have had some void ray build he was going to do no matter what.
yeah, we've seen him do
sees
something
the guy
like that.
close.
So, TricKsteR sees there's no gas. He keeps his probe alive for so long. And that's going to tell him, okay, this is a command center build. 99%. Oh my god.
Nice juking and jiving there.
Through the smoke, Tasteless.
I know.
That probe just dribbled
The
a
probe had to be
basketball
brave.
under its floating bottom. Doesn't even have hands. It has to hit it with its little probe wings. You know how hard that is, Tasteless, while you're
It's not
flying
easy.
through the air?
He had to hold his breath. He was going through smoke. He didn't
Yeah.
have to burn his little probe eyes.
No, he did not. Really impressive.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, my God.
Engineering Bay. He knew he wanted to fast expand.
Well, what this does is it annoys TricKsteR first off, but let's say that you run into that now on the ladder, because this has just happened, and I haven't seen this before actually in this matchup in a situation like this. Normally you would have a unit already, but TricKsteR's trying to get really quick. Wow, that's a cool thing to do, but that's not what I suggest to you guys at home practicing, because that's going to be very hard to defend. Use more Chrono Boost on your probes. There you go.
You know, it's so funny. It never occurred to me to ever try that against Protoss.
Normally Protoss will have a unit, you know? It seemed like they were... TricKsteR was trying to skimp a little bit and get an even quicker Nexus, because, hey, that one Marine isn't walking across Metalopolis to attack you. You're fine. A couple more gates are going up.
Now, I do wonder, because I can guarantee you one thing, I don't think TricKsteR's encountered this. I do wonder if it was actually a good idea for him to make that Nexus elsewhere. I mean, if Terran goes for a drop, are you going to be able to defend both those spots? Are you, Artosis?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's definitely going to be pretty hard. Now, he might go for something specifically because of putting his Nexus there. Because let's say you go Robo, right? You try to go Colossus. This is going to be terrible for that. Okay, drops are actually going to pick you apart. But if you're like going to rush up to charge or perhaps even blink, then maybe this is something that you can get away with. I've not seen this as the answer quite yet, so we will see. Now, TricKsteR trying to sneak in with his probe.
He wants to confirm if there's an expansion there or not.
He does have a proxy pylon. He does have 3 gates.
It's kind of a weird spot for a proxy pylon.
Yeah.
It's like the most obvious location, but
also
I guess
the
he
place
might be
that
going
someone
for
will
a rush.
scout. Because it is so obvious.
Look at you, being all smart and handsome and funny.
Thank you.
Tall and good at basketball. Now, yeah, he's just not going to scout it.
Yeah, doesn't see it at all. Has no idea.
It's just out of the immediate scouting pattern of a Terran player that would want to find that.
Well,
and
TricKsteR.
I think he's actually going to go for some aggression here.
I don't think it's going to work, though. The second bunker is going to be pretty good against it, but he's going to hit right before that. He's going to need a Guardian Shield. Oh, beautiful!
Oh, so
trapping
nice.
those two. Awesome, awesome move there by TricKsteR.
He needs to get those force fields up on the bunker.
Looks like
Oh,
he's
he
gonna-
totally screwed that up.
Yeah, He just whipped it, Tasteless.
Oh my God.
TricKsteR
All right.
falling apart.
TricKsteR is way being outclassed in this group.
Yeah. That's
like,
too bad, man, because he actually, with those first few force fields, I'm like, oh my God, he might break this because he just caught 3 Marines he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And then everything went wrong, as you guys saw at home.
Well, it's like, right now, Liang is breakdancing, and, we have Top. He's like, basically,
He's doing the waltz.
He's doing the waltz. We got our other guy doing the tango, and right now TricKsteR's like showed up and he's doing the Macarena. Well, it's like, oh.
We'll see if he can maybe upgrade to the chicken dance in a moment here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine that song as his stalkers keep running in bunkers. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
And he is just making more gateways right now.
Well, I mean, this is, he's not, even though he bungled that pressure wasn't something that should have killed anyways. So it's not like he's in a position that he can't win from.
Yeah.
He's adding more gates. He's going up to 6. He's getting his upgrades. He's getting blink before charge, which is
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, the one thing is, if his opponent does go drops specifically, blink can at times be much better against drops than charge. You can really punish. You can kill the drop ship more often. And I think that's what he's afraid of right now. So he says, you know what, blink first, then charge right after. And that's fine. I can't overly argue with that. Now, if Top were to unload everything and hit a timing before charge is done to attack, stim, combat shields, concussive shells, a decent amount of marauders and medevacs, then without not having charge would be a terrible travesty. Blink
It looks like Top is just going to play a very conservative game. He's going to take a third base here.
Going to try the macro style.
See, TricKsteR showed up with the Macarena. He showed up with the Macro-Rena. I write my own jokes. Now, the pylon is going to be picked off here. No more Protoss presence on that today.
Actually, you should say that like John writes your jokes.
Oh, that's good.
Blame it on him.
But most of my jokes are funny.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It's true.
Don't want people thinking he's funny. So yeah, he does start charge immediately after blink is done. Really using and focusing his chrono boost on that. I like this. Just picking off what he can, just trying to one-shot Marines.
Oh, you don't have blink yet, man?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah, he does.
What are you talking about, Tasty?
We've been here for a long time. Yeah. This has been a longer day. Sorry, guys.
Day, yeah.
I'm pounding coffee in between each break. What is? How long has this actually been one of our longest days yet? It's 5 hours so far?
I don't know what time it is, man. Sorry.
I think it is.
It's 11:58 in StarCraft 2 minutes on this game.
Now, meanwhile, Terrana just staying, low tier. Got to get his Ghost Academy next. Sticking with infantry. Nice blink away.
Got to be careful, though. If you lose a couple of those doing that, it wasn't worth it. Marines are cheap.
Yeah,
right,
that's true.
Here he goes. This is the frontal attack. Charge is just barely not done right now. If he just goes straight into it before charge finishes, but it looks like charge actually will finish. But where are your units, TricKsteR?
Yeah, they're all out of position. He did. He's waiting for Storm to upgrade, but it looks like it might finish just a little bit too late.
He's going to lose the Nexus.
Shoot the Nexus down and then run for it right before the Templars can get there. If he books it out of there.
Actually, Storm is just barely not done. Wow. Yeah. TricKsteR, where's your army, bro?
What's going on, Broseph? What's up, Broham?
And his army is coming up, but
TricKsteR
it was
actually a mess this game.
Yeah, he's I mean, you have to be ready for things like that. He knew that the army was kind of almost halfway in between the map, and he elected to have all of his units way over in the main base, which, I mean, obviously you don't want to be dropped, but at the same time, the amount of units he saw over there said, hey, if there is a drop, it's not going to be that big. It's going to be a frontal attack that hurts you. Well, TricKsteR is making 2 Nexus right now, going up to 3 base, so he's not actually out of it. He's got Psystorm, a couple good Psystorms, and all mistakes are forgotten.
Now, it would not be too shocking if we had another timing attack here from Top, or he might just expand again. Both are actually fairly reasonable. I'll have to read where TricKsteR is trying to recover.
TricKsteR has a lot of charge lots. He has Psystorm. He has 1/1 upgrades. Top has 1/1 as well, so that doesn't actually matter. But does Top have EMPs ready? He doesn't have any EMPs ready. Luckily for Top, he has made a planetary at his third base. Which, by the way, is just a perfect call against someone who took his first base as the third base location, because obviously they can't go Colossus. Really smart. But, without EMP, Psystorm against this very Marine-heavy composition from Top. He's actually playing kind of Puma style. A ton of Marines. Actually, now that I look into his main base, he has so many reactor barracks. They're all trying to make ghosts.
What do you mean Tech Lab barracks?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Now, we have the medevac over here just trying to do a little bit of drops here and there. It almost seems as though TricKsteR is actually preparing to try to stop the fourth base while he's trying to secure his 2 third bases, but he might be out of position.
Yeah, TricKsteR's a bit out of position right now.
TricKsteR's gone back and forth with that army a couple times. I could see him doing it again.
Lucky for him, his opponent didn't go in through the back door. Might have been able to pick off the Nexus in that case. And here we go, Taste of Slaughter. This will come down to Psystorms versus EMPs.
Okay, he's got a nice EMP there.
TricKsteR has no observer with his army. These ghosts could actually kill the whole thing.
Yep.
And
well,
nice. Oh my god, those force fields. But TricKsteR's already taken too much damage.
It's actually not enough, because once those zealots go away, everything in that army dies for Protoss.
Very true. And, well, I like the backup. These fresh reinforcements will be able to stop Top in his tracks, but Top has already done the damage he needs to do. He just needs to go home, heal up, get more energy. These Zealots doing a great job with their charge, trying to take out these ghosts.
And, yeah, he's doing a great job with these Marauders, just continuing to drop down here.
TricKsteR really needs to get something going. Okay, good. I was just going to say, this guy, he's in need of a tech switch. He needs to switch over to Colossus. The whole ghost thing is not working for him all that well right this second. And he is making that robotics bay. May even want to think about observer speed against these cloaked ghosts, something a lot of Protosses are neglecting.
Yeah, that's one of those upgrades people really ought to be getting more of, especially considering this is a matchup where you don't make as many observers.
Yeah.
I mean, remember in Starcraft 1? You have like guy could have like 10 observers.
Yeah.
It's like totally reasonable, but in this case, you're making other stuff out of that. All right, nice EMP, getting about half the army there.
And TricKsteR engages for 2 seconds and turns around. The worst scenario you could possibly have. Ouch. And that's, well, that's even worse than that, so I guess I lied. TricKsteR really is kind of falling apart this game.
And now a double expand here from Top. You know, TricKsteR has been so on the ropes this entire game. And
well, he does have some Psystorms left over. Psystorm goes off, barely hits. And nice Psystorms there. Does TricKsteR have enough to break through, though? Psystorms his own Zealots to try to not have enough.
And it does look like just barely, once again, will Top have enough to drive this Protoss army out of the game. Don't forget, guys, he's double expanding back at home, so he's going to have a lot of well, he's just going to have a really strong economy. Even if he was to lose this battle, even if he lost all those medevacs and Marauders. Whoops, he's not mining from the gold base, but now he is. He's transferred SCVs.
Well, Top right now is getting himself into a position that I don't see TricKsteR actually coming out of. TricKsteR does not have any Colossi. He's just kind of chilling with what he has. He can't really get a 4th base up. And Top is expanding with planetaries, and if you don't have either a gigantic, really well-made army or Colossi, you can't attack into those. So we see TricKsteR throwing away a lot of units again, but he is warping into the Terran base. Some Zealots. Of course, this will be cleaned up. It's not that hard to clean up. Probably just uses some snipes on him.
Guess not. All right, nice, cloaked him.
Yeah, that works too.
Very nice there by Top. Yeah, what Top's doing is he's played this very safe. He's just making sure that every engagement he has, he comes out on top. Look, man, to be totally frank, TricKsteR actually deserves to go down to the up-and-down matches.
Yeah, his play
like
tonight has been non-stellar. Non-stellar.
Non-stellar.
Yeah, man. It's been totally non-stellar.
Non-stellar.
Well, at this point, the Ghosts are actually going to clean up, and we're going to see a GG from TricKsteR anytime now.
Yeah.
Well played by Top. TricKsteR, a little bit disappointing. Not quite the level I'm used to seeing him at.
Well, I certainly expected more from TricKsteR here.
Yeah, no, I thought he had a decent chance to make it out of this very hard group, but certainly not with the way he's played. Everyone else has definitely played much better games than him tonight.
Yeah, and this does mean we're going to have the rematch here between OGS Top and Alive.
That's right.
Gonna be sick.
Excited.
GG.
All right. So, here we are. TricKsteR goes the up and down.
And rightfully so.
Well, you know, he's going to have to practice a lot for that. Up and down. That's a slugfest, man. You have to win a lot of games. A lot of great players there. It's much like MLG in that regard, which you'll be going to as well. He's going to have to win a lot of games versus a lot of good players. Hopefully this gives him some sort of perspective. A couple lessons maybe as well. When you scout with an observer, counter what you see instead of make what counters what they're doing.
Yeah.
Countered by what they're doing.
Both games, he really disappointed me, to say the very least. You know, even that initial attack that he did was just so poor. It was
well, he messed that up. He could have done more damage than he should have when he got those nice force fields, and then he kind of botched it. So I'm like, okay, whatever on that. But then when he lost the Nexus, when he clearly his opponent was coming,
it was pretty shocking. All right, guys, we have one more game today, and it's going to be between Alive and Top. We'll be back in 5 minutes, so don't go too far away. This is the GSL.